Hey, what's up guys? Rob here, and I'm back with another Horror Madness movie review. For the month of October, I'm going to be reviewing one horror film per day. We are on day number 11. If you haven't seen some of my other reviews, definitely check them out. You'll have to excuse the way I sound. If I'm sniffing or if I'm clearing my throat, it's just because I'm battling a cold right now. I'm kind of congested, so just bear with me here. But the movie we're going to talk about today is definitely one of my favorite horror films. In this series, there are 3. And I definitely like the first 2. And it is I Know What You Did Last Summer. 1997 American slasher directed by Jim Gillespie. And also had Kevin Williamson, who was the writer. And he wrote Scream, of course, in 96. Loosely based on the 1973 novel The Same Name by Lois Duncan. The film is about 4 young friends who are stalked by a hook-wielding killer 1 year after covering up a car accident in which they were involved in. The film also draws inspiration from the urban legend known as The Hook. You know that story called The Hook. I remember I have a book on that somewhere. Very interesting story. But the movie was nominated for multiple awards, and it won multiple awards. But it was a mixed bag. Critics, either didn't like it or they actually thought it was pretty good. The thing is, they call it a straightforward slasher, unlike Scream, with many different, plot points and things going on. This was pretty much straightforward. And, it had a interesting story to it. With this killer who walks around with a hook and a slicker called the Fisherman. I really like it. As far as a killer goes, like he's different. I mean, yeah, Candyman had a hook, but this guy is basically just a normal human character, kind of like Ghostface. So I don't know. I definitely like this. Had a budget of $17 million, and it made $125 million at the box office. It was very, very successful. John Debney did the music for this. Like I said, it's got a pretty good cast. Jennifer Love Hewitt as Julie James. And Jennifer Love Hewitt was not, they actually wanted her for the role of Helen, who was played by Sarah Michelle Gellar. And of course, at this time, Jennifer Love Hewitt was popular in Party of 5. Sarah Michelle Gellar was doing Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So, they gave Jennifer Love Hewitt the role of Julie. You have Ryan Felipe as Barry, who's basically the jock, and he plays the same kind of role in Cruel Intentions. He's rich, he lives in this big house, and he's in shape or whatever, and it just, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Ryan Felipe or Philippi or however the hell you say it. Freddie Prinze Jr. is Ray. And these guys play the boyfriends of Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt, of course. Bridget Wilson is in this as Elsa, and she plays the sister of Helen, Sarah Michelle Gellar. And Hetch is in this as Missy, who has a I wouldn't say it's really important. It's not really an important role, but it makes the story progress a little bit. You get to find out just a little bit of what's going on with the killer. You have Muse Watson, who plays Ben Willis, and he's great. I think he's a really cool character. Johnny Galecki as Max. Don't test me, motherfucker! I'm gonna call the cops on your cottage quarterback ass! Oh, man. I always call him David from Roseanne, because that's how I know him. Or Rusty from Christmas Vacation, because that's he was kind of just funny in this movie. I don't know. So yeah, you basically have these kids. They drive to a beach after attending a party. It's the 4th of July, and they're driving along and they're messing around, drinking and all that, and they accidentally hit a pedestrian. You know, they start arguing, and they, you know, let's call the cops. And then the other half says, no, let's dispose of the body. And so they start going through all these scenarios, like, you know, if we call the cops, they're gonna find us drinking and stuff like that. We're gonna get busted and blah blah blah. So basically, they decide to dump the body, and not all of them agree to do it. You know, Barry just gets in everybody's face, and he gets in Julie's face, and Ray just stands there like an idiot. But they agree to dump the body and never discuss what happened. So then a year goes by. Julie returns home from her college in Boston for the summer. Everyone has gone their separate ways since then. Julie receives a letter with no return address, and it states, "I know what you did last summer." And that's it. So when this happens, Julie starts to track down everybody. She tracks down Helen. You know, they find Barry, and pretty much everybody. You know, people start getting notes as well. And then, you know, Barry suspects, you know, he suspects that it's Max, Johnny Galecki. And he like, you know, tries to beat him up and stuff. And so throughout the whole film, they're basically trying to find out who it is. And at the same time, they're looking for clues. And, you know, the fisherman is stalking them one by one, taking them out, killing whoever gets in his way. And there you have a horror film. I think the acting was pretty good in this movie. I like the characters. And like I said, I like the villain. And this movie is not overly gory at all. Really, there's hardly anything. And that's what... you know, that's what the director wanted for this movie. He didn't want it to be overly gory or overly bloody. In terms of violence, you know, he thought it didn't need it. You know, there's a scene where Elsa has her throat slashed while standing against the glass door. It had originally been shot from behind without any blood appearing on the glass. But it was reshot with the visual effects of blood splattering across the glass. And, you know, it wasn't nothing over the top, you know. But it didn't need to be. Actually, the second movie, they really kind of upped the ante on the blood and gore. But yeah, this movie, it was shot in different places. You have the Cliff Rock at the beginning of the film was shot at Colmer Gulch, which is in California, or near near Jenner, California, something like that. The blind curve where the car, you know, the car accident happens earlier in the film was shot at Colmer Gulch. I think that's what they near Jenner, California. So all that whole area, well, it was actually one area, the whole sequence. So that was pretty cool. I've never been there, but I've never even been to California. So, but anyway, so yeah, the original ending featured a sequence where Julie receives an email and it reads, "I still know." But that ending was scrapped. And so they just went with, you know, the killer crashing through the glass. And the funny thing is, it was filmed and shot right next door on a stage. The soundstage where Jennifer Love Hewitt was filming Party of Five. That's crazy. Like right next door to it. So the movie opened theatrically on October 17th, 1997. And like I said, it was a mixed bag. But overall, it was successful as far as box office numbers. You know, and a lot of people compared it to Scream. But like I said, this one was more straightforward than that film. And Jennifer Love Hewitt actually won 2 awards. Favorite Actress and Favorite Female Newcomer for the 1998 Blockbuster Entertainment Award. Sarah Michelle Gellar also won Favorite Supporting Actress in Horror for the 98 Blockbuster Entertainment Award. So that's cool that they won stuff. They were also nominated. I mean, you know, Ryan Felipe is nominated. Freddie Prinze Jr. was nominated. Even the music producer or whatever was nominated for stuff. So yeah, just, you know, this is a straightforward film. I do like it. Like I said, I do like the characters. I do like the story of it. You know, it's very simple. They hit a guy. They presume that he's dead, and he's really not. They dispose of the body, and then he comes back all pissed off, you know, as revenge. It's got a good third act, too. It's kind of intense. But, yeah, I like Ben Willis. The second movie, you know, my favorite, you know, here's the thing. Second movie is a hit or miss for me. Like, I do like some things, but then I don't like a lot of things about the second movie. But if I had to pick any of the movies out of the series to be the best, it'd be this one. My order would probably go 1, 2, then 3, because I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer is a completely different movie. It's a completely different story. It has nothing to do with the others. But I just didn't really care for that. But, you know, it is what it is. So anyway, guys, yeah, not too much more to say about this film. I did enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what you think overall of I Know What You Did Last Summer. You know, of the 90s, it's definitely one of the better slasher films, of course. You know, of course, you have Scream, too, you know, Scream. But, you know, it's different. You know, it's different. It's not just a guy with a knife in a Halloween costume or anything like that. It's, you know, it's a guy in a slicker with a fish hook. It's you know, it's very different. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments of this movie. And yeah, I'll be back with more of these. Next will be day number 12, and we'll see what we'll be reviewing that day. And I thank you very much for subscribing, for all the nice comments, and you know, I really do appreciate it. Taking the time out of your day to watch. I'll have more videos coming out soon of different things. And, you know, next week already is the new Halloween movie, and I'm pretty excited. And I'm hoping to get all the Halloween films done by then, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for day number 12. See you in the next one.